Welcome to the Trading Lounge and the US Indices report, and we'll just be looking at the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq today. Look, in a bit of a nutshell, everything's going according to plan. We'd been working the bottom, and we had doubts, but it's started to develop as as quite a nice structure to the upside. There's a couple of things that we can use to help confirm the bigger trend as well. So this particular box here is the 50 and 60%, 61.8% retracement level from wave 3 high to wave 4 low here. It's also too where wave 1 comes into play down through to here. So normally, once this moves up through here and through wave 1 to the downside here, then we've got overlapping wave structures, and then it helps us confirm that we'll be moving in the right track. But for those that know the trading levels and the importance of price and how that gathers orders as support and resistance, then you'll know that the 2000 is certainly an important price level that we would wish to see as support rather than resistance. And moving up into that 2000, it may slice through it quite nicely, but at the same time, in one way or another, it should test it in the future. I mean, even here, when it came through that fast here, it came back and tested it, so it really played a strong part here. I think that we'll move through it reasonably easily. But when you see it as support, tested support, then you know that it's safe to add to longer term positions and make other decisions as well. And it's kind of important, really, because we know that wave 4s can get complicated. And so far with all of this from wave 3 here, we've really got quite a simple A, B, and C wave here. Now, that could get more complicated, unfortunately, but let's just see how we go with this 61.8% area, because if there was going to be another particular extension to this particular pattern, this ABC pattern that's come through here, then it would start from 2000, basically, the 61.8% mark, if there was going to be some sort of double zigzag or some other type of complex correction. So it is a really important place, okay? So just bear that in mind with everything. I'll just cut to the 2-hour chart if that's okay. And the structure to the upside, we knew that it was positive. There was just a couple of different ways things could have panned out and so on. But it is looking quite nice, and it's above the 1900. It's tested support, and then it's got tested support on the next important level, which is group 1, which is the number 3, the 1930 in this case here. So it's establishing itself in all the right levels, in all the right ways, in all the right structures. So we should see it continue to move higher in this blue third wave here. So wave 1, wave 2, and then of course 5 waves up here in green for wave 3. So really we should be entering a strong part of the cycle here in terms of wave 3, here, and also wave 3 again. So it should scoot through here quite easily, not too much of a problem, and shouldn't kick back too much either. So let's just stay on the long side, be aware of the 2000 and what it means in the bigger picture. But as I mentioned, we should sort of move through it reasonably well, like we moved through the 1900 here, not too much of a problem. But so that's that on the 15-minute chart. Just having a quick look, there's not much difference here really. We're looking at wave 2 here, got a bit, wasn't sure about this one, but an A and a B and a C back in the 61.8% mark into that retracement there, worked out nicely. We've got a small 5 waves up here as wave 1 and 2 here. So we'll see 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and up into the 3rd wave here, and the 4th, and then the 5th wave higher through here. So The levels will play out nicely as always. So basically, you're entering Group 2, and you know that Group 2 always is a bit of a kicker in terms of it looking for the 72 as support and not resistance, like over here. So you also know there's lots of other little levels within Group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80. So a lot of other important levels like 1970 is important, 68 is important, 73 is important, 75, 78, all the there's a whole group of numbers in there. So but the main point, to keep it very simple, is that you need that 1972 as support before adding to positions, and expect some sort of consolidation in this zone here. The Nasdaq is the same as well. Tech stocks here. So just on the 2-hour chart here, exactly the same sort of pattern here. This is also interesting if you're trading this here too, is that 4,300 here is Group 1 as well, isn't it? So it's a minor level. We've got a medium level at 4,000. We've got minor levels 1, 2, and 3 as all of Group 1. And the idea with Group 1 to the long side is to build onto each level as it's tested as support. So this area here for 100, then adding to 200. If the 300 becomes support, you can trade above it, but finding support on it is another mission. But once that's established, then you can go long from that point as well, and then you would trade to the 500, which is the next minor level, and we can expect a correction in that space there as well, across there. And that would be also a place to add to after the correction, after if you've got tested support, that can move in. But you can also take profit at that level and move, depend on what game you're playing with it all as well. Some of the with Facebook, I haven't looked at Facebook for ages. Let me just sort of bring it up. Facebook, nope. Just want to have a look at Apple. Okay, Apple will be easier to use, sorry. So with Apple here, we're calling a low in here, looking for a low before because of our little 5 waves and all the rest of it. So I think that that could be a nice trade setup too here for this market. So once this sits on the 100 here as support, don't worry about those figures there, they're just sitting there. Always keep them to the side, so don't worry about them. But basically, seeing Apple sit on 100 here would be it would definitely be a setup for the longer side there. So we'll keep an eye on that for the Nasdaq as well, and some of the other leading tech stocks as well. I think Apple can have a bigger correction at this level actually here. Yeah, it just seems too small at 100. That's all. But anyway, we'll look at that in another section. Alrighty. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.